There we go. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Rundown with Lou. As you already know, we go through the biggest 5 topics of the week in entertainment, music, television, news. So here are my people here to help me out today. First up, I have 1/3 of the 3 black geeks. DJ, does that say tsunami?
That's right.
That's right. What I'm talking about. What's going on, Aries? What's going on, man?
Hey, man, another day, another dollar. What's going on with y'all?
Oh, man, I feel like I got trapped in the 90s the minute you said another day, another dollar. Next up, I have Mr. Gold Belt himself, Najir. My dog. What's going on, dude?
Hey, with the lick read, since we're going back in the day.
Wow.
Oh, shit.
Oh, man, that is so... You know what?
All right,
bring us home. Bring us
last
home.
but definitely not least. The African snowman, Mr. Earth 2, because Jeezy. Just go with it. And you from Georgia. Motar, what's going on, dude?
Shit. I don't got none. I don't got none for you guys. But what's good? What's good? I'm sorry. I failed the city.
Clearly.
I got lost in the sauce. Yeah, I got lost in the sauce.
Wow.
I got you, man. Hey, who rolling
I'm just
first?
gonna let that go so we can just get to the first topic of this beautiful show. First up, over the past 2 weeks, drama has ensued with Mr. Johnny Depp, as finally he was let go out of his contract for the filming of Fantastic Beasts 3 because of accusations between him and his former wife. So, gentlemen, I ask this. Nothing has ever been proven against Johnny Depp. Not only that, it's kind of been proven that his ex-wife kind of did everything here. Do you feel he was justly let go, or do you think that Warner Brothers overreacted? Start off with you first, Najir.
I mean, yeah, they definitely were trying to do damage control and realized that they were on the gas a little too hard here. But it don't matter because Johnny Depp got all his ducats, so it's all good in his head. But yeah,
wow, that's a lot of 90s references all in a row there.
That's what we doing out here.
Oh, okay. All right.
But yeah, it's an overreaction by them, and they're paying for it. So, you know, I feel like today we're going to be talking about contracts a lot. So just to be clear, once that contract say you got to pay despite, because I think I heard the word say pay to play. If that's what your contract is reading out here, boss, you the man. Like, that's simple and short. Once I'm on set, dish it out.
And he shot one scene and got $15 million. You the man. You the man at that point. Aris, what do you think about Mr. Depp in this situation?
Well, just to you know what, I agree with Najir. They were definitely jumping the gun on that because the moment they let him go, Johnny was like, "Well, hold on some Yu-Gi-Oh shit. You activated my trap card."
Wow.
Because they got to come with that money now.
My poor laptop almost took an L. That was hard.
But it's the truth. No. But seriously though, it's the truth. They got to come with that money because I think I read somewhere don't they got to pay him like almost $900 million?
Somewhere in that area for sure.
Which makes me ask the question: was it worth it to let him go?
And again, that's an overreaction. That's the thing where, like, if you accuse somebody of something or you're not in support of that person, then they're gonna notice that. Like, I'm trying to give a good example of somebody I know a wrestling related instance, which I wouldn't even know that, but like the instance of like if somebody's in hot water, you're supposed to support your person or stand, unbiased until it's all played out. And they were making moves as to like they were definitely going to release him regardless of anything. And I think it's one of those type of things where they let like the social media warriors jump ahead of what actually happened. And then the trial came out, then the reactions of the trial, and then they were just like, look, we don't want no parts of any of this. This just seems like bad press. Until they actually realized like, but that probably wasn't the smartest move for IAM based on this contract. So now they're in a hole for it. And it's not good at all. And I could imagine not only do they have to pay him, but imagine all of the marketing merchandise and everything from the previous projects that now they won't be able to use. I don't care how many scenes he had in the other one. Johnny Depp on any project is a cash cow for you. So, whoops.
So I'm gonna close this out with Mo because we talked about this years ago on the Lucas and Mo versus the World when this story first broke about Amber Heard. So Mo, I'm not gonna ask you to repeat what you said about her then.
No. It was then. This is now 2020. Let's go. It's a new year. Honestly, look, I don't know. Warner Brothers felt like, hey, this is a lot of drama that we don't want any parts of. You're always going to pay him no matter what, whether you let him go or whether you had him stay. As long as he shot that scene, or as long as he worked on the project, or as long as he played, you were going to pay. So I think Warner Brothers looked at it as, hey, we just. Fantastic Beasts 3 has been moving. You know, it was a thing after 2 whether 3 was going to happen, and then it moved, and then it's been so it's a thing where I even think Warner Brothers might be looking at Fantastic Beasts 3 like, hey man, like whatever, because I don't think they did what they wanted to do with 2 in terms of money, in terms of the returns.
2 made about $200 million less than 1.
Yeah, so
they came in light off of 2.
Yeah, and he was in that one a lot. So, and this with all of the mess, because this is messy. It's a messy situation for both parties. Johnny Depp and his estranged ex-wife, whatever. It's a messy situation, and Warner Brothers is stuck in all of it because they have him on in that project. They have her in the DC side of things, and I feel they're both gonna go. I feel Amber is also gonna go. Like once everything kind of clears with this project she just signed or she just did a scene or 2 scenes for, they're gonna let her go moving forward. So Warner Brothers doesn't want any part of the mess. They're gonna lose dollars on it though, regardless. So because the fans are always gonna look at it one way. Johnny Depp's fans are gonna be like, you cut him unjustly, it's unfair. But for Warner Brothers, it's a mess I don't want to be a part of.
I'll just say this really quick. Because I thought of the example. What's his name from Talking Dead is the prime example.
Yeah, Chadwick, Chris Chadwick. Yeah.
I thought it was Chris Hardwick.
Chris Hardwick.
Where Chris he had a completely different person. That's right. 2 names in a one.
Yeah, that's right. He had that domestic violence case looming over him, and AMC let him go. Then eventually, AMC was like, "Whoa."
Our bad. We didn't mean to fire you. You did nothing wrong. That's on us.
And contracts is important here because maybe his contract was sorted in a way. Maybe he still got paid, but they just killed him off for reasons. But then they realized, like, you know what? We didn't handle this the right way. Obviously, the outcome of the case favored him, so they brought him back. I think Johnny Depp, being a supreme knowledgeable guy about how contracts work, they probably even hit him up at some point. Was like, you know what? Maybe we can't. Nope, it's okay. I already got my money. I basically already shot my scenes for the movie, so we're good to go.
I don't think they even want to bring him back though. I don't think, like in the case of Chris Hardwick, he's the face of that show.
And you can almost argue that Johnny Depp is the face of that movie.
You really can. You really can.
He's a pivotal name.
You could have had that movie without Johnny Depp because in the first movie it was what's his face, and then at the end he switched into Johnny Depp. You could have had a second movie without Johnny Depp, bro.
I just think his star power, when I say the face of the movie, like when you associate names with that movie, his name is up there. I don't care if he's in it for 1 minute. You're going to associate his name and being in that movie, point blank, especially his role within the second one. Like you could imagine what his role is going to be in the third one. Just to kind of, so I can wrap up the topic really quick. Mm-hmm. I just think that when you think about contracts here, Johnny Depp contract was probably worded in a way where he's just like, okay, cool, I got my money, I'm good to go. Amber Heard, who's on the opposite side of everything that's happening right now, is still working. And you can be mad all you want, but her contract could be saying, you know what? I don't care if I drop the nuke on Hiroshima again. I I'm not going nowhere. And they're just like, well, it does say that. So I guess it's like contracts work, until you void it.
Right.
With women in 2020. Like, we can't do it. Nope.
Yep. And again, you bring up the other important thing. In 2020, everyone's playing damage control. With the Black Lives Matter movement, with the Me Too movement, everybody's like, we don't want bad press for nothing. So if it even smells like it's an issue,
only Me Too movement that don't matter is when men are lied on by women. That's how we're going to end this topic right here.
Lucas, I was going to end it with one other thing. So I guess one thing that we learned is you don't mess with Edward Scissorhands.
Wow.
Don't mess with him.
Speaking of things changing up in 2020, this past week it was announced that the upcoming Verzuz featuring Young Jeezy and T.I. was officially changed to Young Jeezy and the man he once attempted to have murdered, Gucci Mane. I gotta put that out there because that's highly important here. That Gucci Mane and Young Jeezy at one point in time each put a hit out on each other to be killed. And now we are here as they will be sitting across each other this Thursday on Verzuz, going hit for hit. So, gentlemen, first I'm asking you, what do you think about the switch up in Verzuz from Jeezy to T.I.? And second, will we ever get a Verzuz with T.I. at this point? I'm gonna start off with our Georgia affiliate, Mo.
Peace up, A-Town down. Honestly, I think it's a lot more interesting with Jeezy and Gucci Mane, Guwap. It's
clearly way more
interesting. Like, the internet has been buzzing since it was announced. Also, don't forget that Jeezy's man died.
Yes,
because of things.
Because of Gucci Mane.
So we can put that out there. So you gotta think about the fact that I'm gonna be sitting across with the man that caused my man's death, and we're gonna be talking music. We're gonna be playing songs, verses. No. Listen, I don't know how they put this one together. I don't know what talking heads.
I'll start off by saying this. Then I'll say this to help you out here. Jeezy had been campaigning to do this against Gucci Mane. As Jeezy, as he's gotten older, has forgiven and moved past him attempting to get Gucci Mane murdered.
Gucci hasn't. Guwap hasn't.
We gotta assume that since they're sitting across from each other, that Gucci has also grown up and moved past trying to murder him.
But Guwap is petty though, because on the internet, Guwap didn't even mention him. Like, Jeezy, I think, had added him, like, oh, I can't wait to do this. And Guwap is like, just tell that man to play his music. Listen, there's still bad blood here. It doesn't matter. Like, it's gonna be fun to watch for the fans of both of them. As to answer your second question, I don't know. I don't really care to have a Verzuz with T.I., bro. Like, at this point, you can keep, like, I think Rick Ross kind of wants to go against him, but I don't really care. Yeah.
All right.
We can move on from that.
I'm gonna ask you, what are your thoughts on this Verzuz and a future Verzuz with T.I. and someone at this point?
I got so much to say. First of all, can we get a 2-on-2? The Jeezy and Jeannie Mae versus Gucci Mane and Keisha Kaur. Like, that's the battle we really need.
Yo.
Also, Jeannie, I hope she gets better, man. That's kind of crazy.
Jeannie may smoke that Verzuz all by herself, Joe.
Yeah, she's recovering right now. She definitely had a medical scare, but
words that well.
But beyond T.I. pulling the Where's Waldo, where the hell is the Bone Thugs and Three Six Mafia versus
that was already dropped. They announced it when they dropped that one that wasn't gonna happen.
Where did it go? It was
all set. Tim and Swiss delayed it, and Crazy was like, "Screw you guys, I'm going home." He like, "Nah, I'm not doing this anymore." And now we have the hottest, most anticipated battle since Patty
Yeah.
And Gladys got up there. We thought one of them was gonna cut each other or throw a sweet potato pie at each other.
Yeah. Now, I mean, this is real beef here, but I mean, I think they both matured. I mean, Gucci obviously came out of jail a whole new person.
Clearly.
He done got, I mean, you can tell, like, he's definitely done changed his ways. Like, he done got a whole new So Icy entertainment group. Like, he ditched Waka, Juice Man, all of them. He said, forget all that. He got him a whole new crew. And, you know, I don't know when the last time we heard him do something with Trapaholics, or maybe he's done with that too. But this is the battle everybody wants. It's going to be good. And you don't have to worry about it being uncivilized because Apple is going to dish all of the money in the world to make sure that they stay, but at the same time makes a lot of money for them. So it's not gonna be crazy, and I'm definitely pro Gucci here because like Gucci was in that mixtape world a long time, and let's not forget Jeezy and that Puff Daddy run went nowhere. So you know, and you could. Yeah, and you got
hold up. Boys in the Hood didn't go nowhere because Jeezy left the group after the first
the first single.
Jeezy dropped the first CD and then signed with Jay-Z at Def Jam and said, "See you niggas later."
And you can say what you want. Studio for studio CDs is obviously going to go towards Jeezy, but for every one studio CD that Jeezy had, Gucci dropped 10 mixtapes. Like. Yeah, look. Let me just in case there's some younger people listening real quick. Don't let iTunes fool you. Don't let iTunes fool you. There's so many Gucci mixtapes out there. Ain't nobody having all of them. You got to be deep in the Atlanta streets to own every one of them joints. Them joints ain't all of them ain't even making it to the digital world. So like he got hits forever. Ever.
Let me ask Aris this, Mr. DJ Tsunami, because I can say it. I only know of maybe 4 Gucci Man songs, and 3 of them are features. They're not even hit songs.
Like, you don't know about the Super Friends?
No. Who?
Oh man. Yeah. See. Now you talking that stuff.
Never mind.
Who?
Man,
nigga. Is that with OJ the Juice Man?
Do you know? Do you know? Jeezy and Guwap made music together.
Yes, So Icy. That's the only song that people think about that they made together.
No one's gonna play that on either one of their joints.
Oh, I guarantee you, Gucci gonna play it.
Oh, that's so
Gucci's gonna play So Icy.
Oh, my bad, DJ Suit.
But Harris, what are your thoughts about this battle? Because none of you blanks wanted to answer anything about the King of the South. But what do you think about this battle?
Oh, T.I.? The King of Wakanda?
The King of Wakanda.
This Wakanda right here. We don't do that.
Oh man, look, I was looking forward to T.I., but this one is interesting. This one's gonna be look. I only say that because I actually like T.I.
And T.I. has more hits than both of them too.
Very true.
Oh no, I don't know about that. I still think Gucci got more.
No, we ain't got to argue with that. T.I. clearly has more hits.
Hold up, Najir. That needs to be a versus then. T.I. versus Gucci.
No, Gucci
never.
T.I. couldn't keep up with Gucci. Jeezy and T.I. was the battle.
Yeah, that was a battle.
Neither one of these Negroes can actually keep up with T.I. It's too many big records.
Hold on. Let me just make this really clear, really quick. Gucci is so pivotal to the mixtape era that the strip clubs wouldn't be what they were if it wasn't for what Gucci was putting out. And everybody who followed after Gucci, you talking about Travis Porter, Waka, all these people who are even relevant is because of Gucci. And Gucci and Trapaholics completely put the South back on the map when it came down to everything they're identified for. So when you talking about mixtape music, when you talking about
well, then you got to ask a question here because technically, and they had this discussion between T.I. and Gucci Mane. Trap music came out before Gucci Mane really released anything.
Yeah, T.I. was the person that started trap music. It's not even that. It's not even a question.
And here's the difference.
He dropped them serious before that.
Yeah, way before that too. But here's the difference between T.I. and Gucci Mane and why that could never make a good battle. We saw what happened when Scott Storch went against Manny Fresh. It's awesome. It's awesome when you have a region and you popping hard in that region until you go against someone who has hits that are just worldwide hits, and you can't keep up with them. T.I. has enough worldwide hits that it's hard to keep up with him. And then he could come back and say, by the way, let me drop this verse from I'm Never Scared and watch and see what you can do with it.
Thank you.
And that will be the problem. But Gucci and Jeezy make sense because of their actual beef with one another.
Right.
That's why it makes sense.
Now let me go into this piece. So I saw a number of memes that came out. One of my favorite memes was Gucci and his wife versus Jeezy and his wife, right? Somebody wrote in the comments, first of all, Gucci married a black woman, so Jeezy already lost.
People petty.
Oh.
I'm like,
people
y'all are terrible.
Petty, Joe. They are petty. Jeannie Mae black for real.
Now
she black for real.
No, she is. She
black for real, Joe.
But when this Verzuz does kick off, because of current events, I know one song that Jeezy cannot play.
Oh, Go Getter.
Thank you. You
Go
said
Getter.
it.
Oh yeah, he can't go nowhere near that song.
He
That's
can't
a big
go
hit
nowhere
from him.
near that song.
The moment said, and your boy Kales, you better cut that motherfucker off.
I mean, hold on.
You better have a.
Can you just play that song? Can you just play that song without the hook? Without the hook.
No, he can't play that song at all.
No,
he can just drop the beat.
He can't play that song as much as Gucci can't play the song about him killing GC's friend and him talking about it in a rap. Like certain songs are just off limit for both of these gentlemen.
That's what I'm saying. This battle is versus it's a lot of fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun for the viewers. But it's also something.
I'm gonna ask all of y'all a quick question here because y'all are disrespecting T.I. and just saying garbage about him.
First of all, Lucas, do not lump me in that because I told you. I just said 5 minutes ago that I like T.I.
In all honesty, I never thought either one of these two were the right person to match up with T.I. because the hits are too big. So you need someone to equal that type of big hit. Right. So at this point, Will Verzuz try to still pull off the T.I. versus 50 because Swiss and Tim kind of want this to happen.
But 50, what is a versus? Like, this is how I look at it. What is a versus? 50, because 50's saying, like, what is a versus to me? 50's not the kind of person built for versus. Like, it would be the biggest one ever with him and T.I. Obviously be the best, but it's worth nothing to 50 Cent.
Everything is worth something to 50 Cent. 50 Cent literally goes on Instagram to make things worth it to him by just making fun of random.
I'm sorry. He'll do this. 50 will only do this if he can get a seat at the table with Apple. He'll be like, I do it, but I need to talk to the execs about something.
Never underestimate the power of 50's petty.
Yeah. Or could it be that he would be willing to do this, considering that him and T.I. have a show that is premiering this year, and more publicity for that show is better than anything else in the world?
I mean, that could be like a avenue to make him want to do it. They're going to be standing there plugging the show the entire time.
Because clearly we got to see T.I. You don't get to have as many hits as this man has, and I don't want to see him in Busta Rhymes. I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck how many extreme level events happen. I don't want to see Busta Rhymes against T.I. I need someone with actual hits to go against this man so I can get the My Love versus another big hit, or Soldier versus another big hit, or the other Blur Lines versus another big hit.
Like, he said My Love. Like, yo, you're talking hits, bro. Like, he went into genres. He went into genres, and
that's what I mean.
When you said
one of these is equivalent to Manny Fresh
to Manny Fresh,
Scott Storch, because Manny controls the South. He controls the South. Manny had some big hits until you put him against a motherfucker who had hits that were worldwide, and you were like, damn, man.
That was unfair.
All I'm
it
saying
should have been
is
against Timberland or Swiss on that one.
Look,
it was unfair.
all I'm saying is the songs don't matter just because they got awards or because it was well done. If it doesn't make the club move, then it doesn't matter in Versus. When it comes down to look, I'm gonna tell you two people that I think could flawlessly go on Versus and will be the underdog and can just mop shit. And that's one being Cardi B, and that's two being Ray Sherman. Like when they drop songs, they legit are bangers. I don't care what the song.
Keep in mind,
Ray Sherman has like three songs.
No, they have more than 3 songs. Don't be disrespectful. But the thought about Ray Sherman that has come up is them against the Migos.
Oh, see, the Migos, that's another one that I don't know who's putting next to the Migos.
They trying to put Ray Sherman against the Migos.
No one wants Migos. Again, the mixtape
see, his mic cut him out.
The internet don't want you talking that. The internet don't want you talking that. The internet was like, nah, cut that mic.
Hey,
my mic was saying, but Migos and Gucci will be something. That would
yes, but Migos came from Gucci.
I know, and they would
part of the problem. Yeah. Speaking of things coming from other things, I know I'm trying to transition here. My transitions are trash today, but Bethesda Games announced today that moving forward, Xbox and PC will get a word I can't say, special treatment over any other console when it comes to releasing their games. Meaning, as they put it, the games will either be exclusive or they will look better or they will play better on Xbox and PC than on PlayStation 5 or Nintendo. So, gentlemen, at this point, what is the point of Bethesda Games releasing games on any other system besides Xbox after announcing we're going to give Xbox special treatment?
This is the easy.
Played on some other system.
This is the easy answer. Call of Duty just did it with the Cold War. Xbox Series X is the only one that plays it in 120 hertz frames per second. So that's a big draw to this next generation of gaming. So they said we're only going to do it for Xbox, and PlayStation do it all the time with exclusive DLCs that only go to PlayStation. So this is just one of those type of moves where they're just saying that while we may release the game on both platforms, you may only get extra story, extra content, graphic boosts, or whatever it may be, free patches, whatever they decide they want to do for Xbox, because that's where all of our engineers are focusing on. Because now that Microsoft is ahead of them, you're probably going to have some people that's going to be doing some native work for them and some oversight, like they said. And they can't relate that same type of methodology with PlayStation if nobody's in house is with PlayStation. So they're like, yeah, we can just assume for specs that it works. Good luck. But Xbox, we'll tweak it every way we can to make sure it is. So like, it's no surprise with that news. It actually confirms that the battle between the two systems is very, very, very much more vivid than that whole "congratulations on your launch" tweets that they've been doing.
Aris, what are your thoughts on this battle with Bethesda Games versus everyone but Microsoft?
Boy. No, seriously. Okay, so Microsoft got their little come up with Bethesda by acquiring them just so that they can get special treatment. In other words, their games are going to run best on our hardware is what they're trying to say.
Yep.
But it's also kind of counterproductive because, hey, Microsoft, didn't you also say that a lot of your games that are on Game Pass you can get on PC?
Mm-hmm.
Which means that if I can, play that same game on my gaming rig, 120 frames in 4K, like I've been able to do that for like the last 6 years. So Sony, Microsoft, welcome to 6 years ago.
Yeah, I'm not gonna have that argument, but yeah.
Look, man. As
the argument I think is for console gamers.
I know. I'm just saying, someone who primarily plays on PC, I always got to throw my jabs at both consoles. Now, don't get me wrong. I love both consoles for their exclusives, especially Sony. God of War was amazing game. And, of course, Xbox has always been my Gears of War machine.
Okay.
And that's pretty much where I draw the line.
I'm about to say, now, Mo, I know you, and I know you're not the best gamer in the world. I don't even know if you actually own one of these systems. But what are your thoughts? Oh, that wasn't shade. I was just saying, I know you got too much time on your hands, Saber Wakanda, to care about game systems. But what are your thoughts about Bethesda games basically saying, screw every other console but the one that owns us?
Nature said something, and I just want to go back on that. It's not the first time. I think it's the first time a major publisher, a major game house, to say, "Hey, look, we are actually going to be doing preferential treatment." But it's also something that is like, oh well, duh. Like, who didn't think this was going to happen when Bethesda got acquired by Microsoft? Like, if you sat there and you said, "Oh, nothing's gonna change. It's gonna be 100%." Nah, you was fooling yourself, because there's no way I'm gonna make I'm gonna make a game. I'm gonna make anything, and apparently using the best of the best of the best. That makes no sense. And so, and to add something to it, I would even console wars, not PC, because we all know that 6 years ago it's happening today. Console wars. The Series X might be the better machine if we're sane. So it makes sense, and if you have that, if you're testing with that, if you're running with that, it makes sense to just make all your great looking things, all the great looking games, all the great looking graphics to be on that machine, because that's the one you have on hand the most, or the most to run off of. That's the one your engineers are working with. Again, it's just common sense to know that this is going to happen. I honestly don't know why they announced it, because we could have just guessed it. But
I guess they didn't want anybody to be surprised, just in case you own both systems. They're like, hey, I think you should go with that Microsoft one over this Sony one, because we don't care about that one. So hold on, let me end this topic on a very quick question for all of you involved. How long before Microsoft just buys the PlayStation and says, we're not even going to do this anymore?
That won't happen.
No,
that will not.
We're not going to act like Microsoft just does not have the money to do it and then not care about it, because they actually have enough not care money to buy it from Sony and then say, we're just going to keep on releasing it with our Xbox to see which one sells better.
Short answer. I was going to say short answer to what Lou said like a while ago. They'll just keep buying more and more studios, irrelevant studios, until they are the monopoly owners for all the gaming studios out there.
To piggyback off of that, Niger, what will be the next power move for Microsoft? If they were to purchase
EA.
If they were to purchase that little blue guy right there, Sega Sonic. Because Microsoft and Sega do have a history. When the Dreamcast came out, that was partly made by Microsoft. Mm-hmm, and when the first Xbox came out, Sega helped them with that.
So that means they could get Sega for like $10. But then they could just buy EA for like for like 20 billion, and then say, you know what, we're gonna release this Call of Duty game that for some odd reason people still play, and it's gonna be shit on PlayStation, but yet we're gonna put everything great on it on Xbox. At that point, what would be the point of Sony keeping the PlayStation? Spider-Man? God of War? How much longer before they just buy the makers of those games?
Sony could buy Konami.
Yeah, Sony ain't got the money, because if you don't want, I think the issue with Sony, they're not broke, but I think the issue is you don't want it to come out that you're trying to buy something when you got Scrooge McDuck just sitting in his little vault. Like, oh, you want to buy that? I'll give them even more money to buy it from you. Like, it'll just become unfair. We haven't heard anything from Crunchyroll since it was announced that Sony was in final negotiation for it, because it's a chance that Microsoft went behind the scenes like, we'll give you $2 billion for it instead. They would just make it unfair. That's all I'm saying. Make it unfair.
Really, really quick, I want to throw this out there. Square Enix, with that major loss that they just took with their Avengers game, I would not be surprised if Microsoft's like, so want to recover some of that money, don't you?
Want to recover some of that money.
Look, just shift all those Final Fantasies over to us exclusively, and we'll make this go away.
Matter of fact, exclusive Final Fantasy Remake Part 2 first on Xbox.
Yeah, I know first on Xbox. Only on Xbox.
7. Hey,
it'll be like only on Xbox.
7 Remake Chapter 2 only on Xbox would destroy the gaming community. You don't even want to know how angry people will be if they had Chapter 1 on PlayStation, but you got to get Chapter 2 on Xbox.
Hey, you know something, Danger? This would be the second time that Final Fantasy 7 caused an upset like this. The first time was when they did it, when everybody thought they was going to stay with Nintendo, but as soon as they went to Sony, it was a wrap.
Yeah, all Microsoft is going to say is, I hope y'all a little happy with y'all little white spaceships. They ain't got no these gaming systems. But speaking of not having things fully together, today marked the anniversary of the theater release of Justice League. And on this day, Mr. God Snyder Luther King himself, decided to drop a new trailer of Justice League SnyderCut. Hey, look here. I can't go as hard as I used to go on Zack Snyder. That I used to do it on Lucas and Mo, because I said things that I cannot repeat on air.
Please don't.
People will. I got clearances and stuff. I can't afford to do that. But today, Zack Snyder released news about Justice League, about him wanting to hopefully split it into 2 movies instead of the 4-part miniseries that HBO has planned. Also, he released a new black and white trailer with the same music from Watchmen. So, gentlemen, with all recent news that has dropped about Justice League SnyderCut, are you all ready for this film? And what did you actually think about the trailer? I'm going to start first with, let me see, out of the 3 disappointed faces, I'm starting first with Eris. What did you think?
All right, no, short answer. Can I just see the movie already?
It is not a movie. It is a
movie miniseries. Just drop it already. That's what it is. Drop it already, because I am tired of the hype. I'm tired of the fake hype. I'm tired of the over exaggerated hype, the over exaggerated hype. I'm tired of it. I am exhausted. I am Rick Grimes crawling my way to that damn bridge, getting ready to blow up the dynamite. I'm done.
So what did you think about the actual trailer? Or did you see the new black and white trailer?
I didn't see it. See it. I really want to just just distance myself from everything and just see it when it drops.
You just want to see the project.
I just want to see
you're trying to do like what Mo did with Last Jedi. And since I'm gonna go back with Mo as his disappointment from not seeing any trailers from Last Jedi to the drop and then seeing the movie, Mo, what are your thoughts on Mr. Zack Snyder's news about Justice League and about the trailer that dropped today?
Yo, Aries, just do yourself a favor and look at the trailer, man. That's all I'm gonna tell you. And this is coming from me that did the thing, that did the blackout for TLA. Listen, I saw the trailer and I was done. It's like, hey, it's if you saw it when he initially announced the Snyder Cut, when HBO Max announced it, and he was allowed to show that one trailer earlier. It's the same thing as like a couple more scenes, like maybe like at least 1 minute. Like no, not even one. Like maybe 30 seconds of scene added. Not even like
it's like 10 seconds. 10 seconds of additional footage.
And honestly, if you watch the trailer, if you actually run it in time, it's like literally like maybe like a minute and 10 seconds, because it's like hella slow motion in it. The trailer is. Listen, I didn't like Steppenwolf's remake. At this point, I'm an Aries. Let's just see this thing and call it a day. I need no more hype for it. I just need them to like, okay, we're working on it. We're not going to talk about this anymore. This is just what it's going to be. I need Zack Snyder to shut up about it. Like, okay, at first it was a cut that was ready. It was 2 hours and it was going to go. It was ready to go. Now it's a 4-hour event. And now you want it to be 2 movies instead of what HBO gave you. Like, you should
forget. Hold up, Mo. Don't forget his finished cut that he told us he had finished for years now. Required $70 million more to finish it.
Or apparently 4 minutes of additional footage, because that's according to him. It's like, oh, it's not even a lot of footage, just 4 minutes. Okay, right, sure. It's all that money that went into this thing that you said was ready to go. Like all this time, now you want it to be too. If I was Zach, I'd just be happy that I get to actually finish my movie in a way. I'm really tired of all the talk. I don't really care too much for all the talk. I kind of want to see this out of curiosity. It's like when you're driving past, like when you're trafficking, like what's causing the traffic? It's a whole accident, and you're like, damn, like oh, fuck, niggas rubbernecking in the front. And
good analogy.
And they're like, oh shit, that's horrible. But damn,
it's like watching YouTube and watching earwax removal videos. That's what it's like waiting on the Justice League cut. It's like, well, this is probably going to be disgusting, but I need to watch this to the end to see what happens.
Looking at it, it's huge. It's going to be a lot of pus, and you're still watching it. Like, I wonder how she's going to do this one. Literally, SnyderCut is literally that. Like, we know who he is in terms of movie making. We know what he's about. It's like, what is this movie about? Like, what is this event? Like, one thing I saw in the trailer, like, I had to pause and ask myself a question. I was like, there's a whole Justice League sign. If people were complaining in BVS, right, that all the superheroes had logos,
how are they not a team but have a sign already? Yes, that should bring real good questions about God Snyder and the way this movie works. Now, Najir,
Stinger.
I want to bring in Najir here because I know Najir feelings about this. We have had very short conversations about it.
This all-inclusive resort in Tijuana, Mexico that no one wanted, but here we are. Literally, when I watched the trailer, I was like, I really was questioning myself, like, why am I watching something with a sense of heightened urgency of like, here's something new, of like, wait, I already seen this. Like, it I don't know. And not to mention too, what you said earlier about him needing more money to finish. I mean, he definitely pulled like the ultimate like nigga move when you're like, hey man, how far are you? You be like, I'm just around the corner, and you be all the way home still.
That man didn't even change clothes yet.
Hey,
it's like, yeah, it's like, are you done yet? Like, yeah, it's done.
Hey, man, it's already done, man. This all you gotta do, be here in about 5 minutes, man. You good to go. Come pick up your car. And then you get there, and that nigga got all the pieces on the floor. And you're like, Nick, I thought you were finished. He said, man, I'm just about finished. That's it.
I'm not hyped for this joint. Like it's free content, so I'll watch it. I guess maybe. I mean, to be honest, I got the same hype I got for Milan. It's like, all right, I know it's coming at some point. I mean, I think Milan came out earlier, and some people paid whatever amount of money. I do not acknowledge that. I know Milan is coming out in December, so I'll check it out then. But like, when the hand of Snyder comes down to HBO Max, then I probably will see what it does. But I'm not going out the way. And all the hype for it, every update, every tweet, every hashtag. That's right. I'm so over that.
I'll say this: the trailer. I enjoyed the trailer the first time I saw it in August. When I saw it again in black and white with a few added scenes, I said, well, is it supposed to set a mood? If it's supposed to set a mood, great. Other than that, it was kind of pointless to do it again. And I think that's just the issue with it. It's pointless until we get to see the product at the end. Right. What is the point of this Zack Snyder project at the end? Until we get to that point, man, it's just a bunch of unnecessary hype from people who just want to see a shit show. We'll get to the shit show, But until we get to the shit show, just enjoy it.
Really quick, I just want to know who is scoring this.
Oh, Junkie XL.
Okay.
Oh, one more thing.
Clearly, it's no one with actual talent.
Yeah.
Because once you hear this, you're just like, dude, like, how many times we got to hear this Hallelujah song? I'm tired of hearing this song, Zack Snyder. Like, you don't need to do this all the time, not in every movie.
Like, what, you thought he was going to get Hans Zimmer?
Yeah,
Actually, I thought he would get Hans Zimmer.
Yeah, that's where I was going at with that.
Yes, I thought he would have gotten Hans Zimmer.
People made fun of like the dialogue in the original Justice League and the theatrical cut, but then want to sit down and justify to me Batman saying he's not for everyone. Oh, he's for everyone in other universes, but he's not for us. Not us united. I'm like, sir, you guys go.
That was the tagline. That was the tagline scene. We get it in every movie, like when Mel Gibson leans in the camera and says, "You know what? We're just a bunch of lethal weapons." It's like that, and you're like, "Oh, okay, nice tagline." That's what that was. The Us United was the tagline that they needed.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, unless we get 3 hours of movie where they're not united first, and then they finally get united, and in that part he says it. That line is so dumb.
Oh God! Look here.
It's a dumb Batman line.
I can promise you a review will be nowhere near my channel.
Yo, Luke, you gotta bring us back like this.
Hey, no. Here's the thing: Lucas and Mo is coming back, if only to review the Snyder Cut, and for my honest, unfiltered opinion about it. Which, hey, right now, currently, the most watched video on Earth 2 is still our review of Infinity War, which involved lots of cussing. That's what will happen if I have to review the Snyder Cut.
Man, look, put that review of the Snyder Cut behind the paywall, man. That might be money to be made right there.
Oh no, we haven't even talked about your review of Godzilla, dog. Like your solo one,
man. Oh yeah,
who, me? Because I got.
No. I remember that. I called everybody stupid. And I called everybody stupid who liked that movie. I was so mad.
That's the first day I let the internet get under my skin. I was.
So I'm to assume that none of y'all like King of the Monsters.
Look here.
Another conversation for another day.
Yeah, that is a.
I just wanted a short answer, just yes or no.
Oh, I fucking hated that movie. On so many levels, I hated that movie. But speaking of decisions that I don't necessarily agree with, today it was announced by a Black Panther producer that moving forward there will be no digital Chadwick Boseman for the Black Panther movies. As the producer stated, our king is dead, and now we must find a way to move forward. So, gentlemen, with news that this was a possibility at one point, or a lot of people thought it was a possibility that we would get a digital Chadwick for a Black Panther sequel, with that no longer being a possibility, and possibly this role being recast, who would you think would be a perfect fill-in for this role? Start off first with Mr. Harris.
Man, that's hard.
And you can't say Denzel or Samuel Jackson.
I'm not gonna say. I will
go
not
to the
say,
black people stereotypes.
First of all, Lucas, I will never say neither one of those Negroes. Okay. Will Smith. Ew. No. I it's hard because Chadwick, he took that role and made it his.
Really?
And to me,
I'm sorry, he passed. We said nice things. Okay, yeah.
I'm saying nice things. No. I'm just saying
because all he had was a bad African accent to me. But hey,
yeah, but he owned it. Because
he definitely owned that accent. I give it to him.
He owned it.
I give it to him. He owned that accent for sure. He owned that accent as much as Will Smith did in Concussion.
There you go.
Both own those accents. Tell the truth.
But I don't.
Tell the truth.
But I don't want to give that. I don't want to give. No, sorry. King T'Challa does not belong to Will Smith, in my opinion.
Not a chance. No. I agree with you.
Not ever. Not ever. That would be like me saying, if this was the 90s, I wanted Wesley Snipes to be King T'Challa.
Well, I can see that in the 90s.
And that would have worked in the 90s. But here we are in current year. Who can really play Black Panther?
I have a name, but I want to know your name. I'm gonna get all your names before I say the person who I think would be perfect for this role.
I
already know where he's going. That's my answer. So we'll see.
I really can't think.
Now I have to. Now while Eris can't think, I gotta go to Nigeria next.
Yeah, I must say go to Nigeria.
Who do you think is the perfect person?
Mamadou Ati. I think this guy has a lot of potential.
Wow, I wasn't thinking about him, but okay.
I think he has a lot of potential going forward, and I've seen a lot of versatility in his acting recently. And I think given the right attention, right platform, a little bit of motivation, obviously stepping into big shoes, it could be an all-star. So I hope you wouldn't think I was about to go to witchcraft country and name.
No, hell no.
Oh, okay.
No. I didn't think you would name Jonathan Majors.
Okay.
I
Just checking.
No.
I mean,
Nature, the last thing I need is to see T'Challa running around being sweaty and confused for 2 hours. I don't need that.
I'm not posting this video now. We already bashed the SnyderCut. We already bashed. At this point now, this video is not safe for being posted.
But that was actually a good choice that I did not think of. Mamadou Ati is amazing. I think he's on the brink of being a big deal in Hollywood. And I think this role would be a little too big for him right now. And I think he can build into another role with another comic book company playing a robot of some form after they get rid of a guy. But I don't know about Black Panther yet. So Mo, what are your thoughts? Who could possibly replace Mr. Boseman in this role?
I don't know why I thought about John David Washington. I don't know why.
I don't either. That's a good question. I don't know either.
I literally just hopped in there as you guys were talking.
Denzel, you want Denzel Light to be Black Panther?
Denzel, you might as well go. But
the younger version of Denzel, yes,
might as well. It's kind of tough, like. Again, seeing as we saw, I think it's kind of the reason why it's difficult. It's still kind of fresh, but for the company, you have to make a decision, because it's for you. Your shareholders and all that. You can't be sitting here and talking about you let your emotions carry it. But it's tough for me because it's still very fresh. He was just in Endgame. Last year or last year?
Yeah. I mean, the movie's forgettable, but it did come out last year.
Yeah, and granted, he wasn't he was in that one part when he was like a running back.
Kumbaya.
Okay.
Kumbaya.
He said like a running back.
What? Yeah, they passed it. They kind of like
watching.
They gave him the gun and he took off. He was like,
Nature, you know his line. You know his line in that part. Give it to me.
Yeah, exactly. Give it to me.
Look here, I love Chadwick as much as the next person for some great roles, but that African accent was horrible. And everything Black Panther did.
Hold on. I'm sorry. The reason why he got casted for Black Panther was because of his African accent in Gods of Egypt. So just so you clear, it's respected out here in these streets.
It should not be respected in these streets. When it was plenty of talented African actors with African accents that you could have done.
Let me tell you something really fast. Like, all due respect, I'm a huge Chadwick fan, but I'm trying to tell you, and then everything went down with his dad, and everybody's posting, their thoughts, reflections, and everything. No one posted Gods of Egypt because no one wants to remember his role in that. No one. I even own it, and I own that because I think Alice Puyos does an amazing job in cinematography. But beyond that, I cannot identify one actor in that film. Like it's
who played the God of Egypt with an Ireland accent. I will always remember that.
Bruh.
Like, nigga, he don't even come close to sounding like anywhere near Egypt.
He didn't try. What are you talking about? None of them sound like they're from Egypt. All of them were British.
But
I ain't gonna lie. I feel like he was like a cameo. Like he wasn't even supposed to be in the joint. He was just like, well, now I'm here. I guess I'll just do something. Like it was so bad. It was so bad.
We only say that because we love Chadwick Boseman, and he's 9 times out of 10 going to get an Oscar nomination for Ma Rainey's Down Bottom. I think I said that name right. Mm-hmm. He is awesome in that movie. I hear because I have not seen it yet, but I'll see it in a couple of weeks. But the actor who I thought would be perfect for Black Panther, and part of it is because he has the talent to do it. He has kind of notoriety, but not huge on it yet in the acting world, and he has the perfect body type for it, and that is Mr. Nnamdi Assewa, who I just saw in Sylvie's Love.
Kerry Washington's boyfriend?
Kerry Washington's husband? Yes,
sorry.
That guy.
Former cornerback that got all the money.
Yes, and current he's produced 5 movies for Hollywood. His latest starring role in Sylvie's Love was drops Christmas Day. He is amazing in that movie, and to me, skills set alone, he can fill in for that role with no issue. Because you're gonna have to get someone who is not a big name, but someone who could come in and act and fill that role. And none better than a Nigerian to come in and play an African warrior. Let's be realistic here. He checks all the boxes.
I don't know if you want that though.
But he checks all the boxes. But guess what? Chadwick didn't necessarily want it when he got it.
And he didn't check the boxes.
Yeah. So I think Nnamdi is someone who could come in. Don't you be disrespectful. That's another movie don't nobody talk about.
What?
Is Message to the King. No one talks about Message to the King with Chadwick Boseman.
I think in that movie he was prepping the African accent because it was.
He was because it was worse in that movie than it was in the other movies. It was much worse in Message to the King. But I think Nnamdi Assewa would be a great choice. Like if I had a person to campaign for, it would be him. And that's because he's built right now. He has enough tough skin. Like I love Mamadou Ati, but I don't think he has the tough skin yet built.
Yeah, Nnamdi played in the Black Hole for about 7 seasons.
Hey, he got nothing but tough skin. And he's a perfect, he's 6'4", 230.
Yeah, and then I think he played in Philly after that. Yeah.
Yes, he played in Philly after that.
Yeah,
like he's the perfect body type for. And again, this is someone who produces his own projects right now. He has his own production company. The guy takes acting very seriously, and I think he will be perfect to fill in for Chadwick, and possibly get people to forget that Chadwick was in the role, because that's what it's going to take. It's going to take someone that is so good in it that you kind of forget that Chadwick did the role before him. Because other than that, it's going to be too much pressure for any younger actor to come in and play that role. Any closing thoughts, gentlemen, on this topic?
All right, Lucas, I had one. Now this will just be.
Don't you say Ving Rhames?
No,
you better not say Ving Rhames.
No, alternate Earth. This is alternate timeline.
Or Tyrese. Don't you say Tyrese?
Hell no. Alternate timeline. You're gonna crucify me for this, Michael J. White.
You know what? Eris, it was wonderful having you on the show this week, sir. No, Michael J. White is. You know what? He's too old.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said alternate.
Yeah.
If we were to make a completely different Black Panther movie,
if you're gonna go that age and alternate, it would be Diamond Hansu, who should have been Black Panther 10 years ago.
Yeah, he should have been.
Like, he should have been Black Panther 10 years ago. But if I'm going alternate, if I'm going older, I'm casting him immediately. I don't care how many other Marvel roles he's already had. I'm casting him immediately as Black Panther. His age alone eliminates him, and that's why I did not bring him up, and I brought up Nomni instead. But I like where you're going with it with the alternate reality. But come on, it's Marvel. They're not thinking that way. It's A plus B plus C, and they are not doing no division. It's all addition.
Yep.
So, any closing thoughts, gentlemen? Niger, any closing thoughts, sir?
Who had the better African accent? Will Smith in Concussion, or
you know what?
We're not doing this.
Will Smith in Concussion had a better African accent than Chadwick did in Black Panther.
Tell the truth.
I dare you to say you don't. I dare you, Mo. You African. I dare you to say you don't. I dare you to say Will Smith's accent is not better than Chadwick's accent. You can't. Both of them are bad, but you cannot.
You know why I can? Is because for a fact Will Smith should have had a Nigerian accent, and it was fucking horrible. And it was not a Nigerian accent. It was nothing close to anyone being in Nigeria. So fuck his
African accent.
You can't do that though. So if you're gonna ask me the question, being Nigerian, I'm going to be biased.
I don't have a Nigerian accent, sir.
But I'm gonna be biased and give Chadwick the edge because I'm not from that part of Africa and I don't know a lot of people what they sound like. What I know for a fact is Will Smith.
Africa is it, sir? What part?
The eastern part of Africa.
That's
what I know for a fact is it should be around the eastern. Yeah, it should be. If Wakanda did exist, you saw the map.
If you put Will Smith in Black Panther with that same exact accent,
he works.
In Concussion, so that means Will Smith's accent is better because you openly admitting that if you put him in Wakanda, Will Smith's accent in Concussion would have been better than Chadwick's in Black Panther.
The reason I'm saying that is because M'Baku had a West African accent as well, so they just had every fucking facet of Africa in that movie.
Exactly. Oh, hey. All I'm gonna say is, what's better, Chadwick's African accent or David Atunyawe's American accent? I think I'm saying his name right.
David
That guy. What's better, his American accent or Chadwick's African accent? Look, which one is better?
I don't know. I think his American accent is better because Chadwick's African accent is really bad. It's not good at all. It's not passable. Like, whoever was the accent coach on that movie needs to be reevaluated.
Kevin
Feige.
Not gonna find a black person. Oh, Kevin Feige. They didn't even attempt to find a real African to speak, right? They say, hey, white man, teach him how to speak African.
But you know what? Final thoughts though. Chadwick was in one full Black Panther movie. He was in his face, because his face was in like maybe 15 minutes of Civil War. He was in Infinity War for about 3, 5, 10, less than 10 minutes. And then Endgame for a minute and a half. He really owns about like a good 3 hours of Black Panther. If you get another actor to do one full movie and another couple like cameos somewhere else, I think you can move away from Chadwick, like the shock. Once you get an initial actor in a full movie, I think it almost erases the shock, because you barely remember Chadwick out in the final two, I almost said final two Marvel movies, or in the final two Avengers movies, right? Mm-hmm. You barely remember him, so he's only in the MCU for Black Panther for one full movie.
But you got to also remember that he was the breakaway star in Civil War.
Absolutely,
he's the breakaway star in Civil War. Captain. Like, again, I say it again, his accent is horrible, but his performance was great in Civil War. Captain. His accent is not good in Black Panther, but it has nothing to do with his performance.
See, what I would love to see is
maybe they could get Michael Jordan to come back and him have an African accent.
What I would love to see is if they were to pull the idea of the first time Black Panther showed up in Marvel, which was him versus all 4 members of the Fantastic Four, which would be a good Fantastic Four movie.
On that note, we're going to have to end this show because I am not going down that rabbit hole at all with Marvel. No, sir. Thank you, people, for tuning in to another Rundown with Lou. We will see you next week. Peace, people.
All right.